I'm pressing so much on this laptop. Hold on. Let me move everything back. I hope you all can see me. I hope my face is not like super in the screen. Let me get logged in right here on Instagram, and we are going to go live, y'all. Just give me 1 second. Everybody come on in. I was reading something and got distracted because y'all know how I like to be on time. But y'all come on in because I'm about to have a real garden chat here. Just a minute. So what are y'all doing for the weekend? Put it in the chat. Yeah, we gotta have a real discussion, y'all, because some things I can't believe, but evidently they are true. Somebody needs. Okay, so we're getting logged in on Instagram. We're gonna add our title, and we are going to get started here. Okay, we are live. Yes, we are live. Hello, hello. We are live. Happy Friday. Y'all let me know what you are doing for the weekend. We have a hot weekend our way. We're talking upper 90s. No rain. The rain has kind of ceased, at least till next Wednesday, I think. But it's okay. We're going to get our irrigation started. So let me just go ahead and get to the housekeeping rules. A lot of things I can't believe, but they're true. And so I just want to talk to y'all just real quick. Real quick, I had to, hello, how are y'all doing? I had to really think about how I'm going to say this because I know I'm still working. I am still working on my delivery. Okay, y'all? My kids say I need to work on my delivery. But I just got to get some things said. So y'all come on in. Hello, pretty little blooms. How are you? So we're going to go ahead, do our housekeeping, and we're going to get right into it because I didn't even start roasting my carrots because I say, you know what? The timer might go off and I might get into it with their... I might be too into this live. So I'll wait till when I get off the live to roast my carrots. So y'all remember, if you know someone who is looking to grow, starting to grow, beginning to grow, has an interest in growing, make sure you like and you share this information. If you want to be notified when we are going live, when we have specials, when we have deals, make sure you text the word let's grow, LETSGROW, to 474747. Make sure you text let's grow to 474747. Also, get on our email list so you could be notified as well when we go live, and also download the free 5 tips to a flourishing garden. Hopefully this weekend we're going to have another freebie for y'all. I'm going to go ahead and put it out because I'm about 80% done. We are going to drop a pest control freebie, okay? So make sure you're either on the text message list or on the email list. You can get on the email list once we put it up, like you can click on the link and get on, but apparently we have, and even myself, y'all, I've had to pull like a couple of plants. But this is the time now when these pests are really trying us, and I think that's one of my most asked questions about pests. So we wanted to put out something that will hopefully be helpful and beneficial to you. So make sure you text the word let's grow, LETSGROW, to 474747, or get on our email list because that is coming out. As a matter of fact, that is my those are my tasks for the whole weekend, to go ahead, finish that up and get it out so you all can get it. Now, I had to call this meeting. We still go live every Monday at 12 and every 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. And then we still go live every Friday at, oh gosh, y'all, every Friday at 6 p.m. It's 6 p.m. Pretty Little Blooms, you just sent a message right here. Wow, I'm going to have to watch that. And the reason why I say it, because it was it was a long time ago. I think it was like last year or the year before. Okay, so let me so that I'm not keeping all of my YouTubers and Instagram friends in the loop. Or keeping y'all out of the closet as I'm like doing a conversation. Pretty Little Bloom said, I saw you on Discovery Plus when I watched the Finding Florette documentary. I know it has been a long time. I remember filming that. I remember sending in all the stuff. I remember them getting back to me, but they never told me when it would be. So I have to go find that. I hope I looked okay on there, Pretty Little Blooms. Now you got me wanting to go and search it. It was from a long time ago. So you see how when stuff happens, like the amount of time that it takes for things to like even get the ball rolling. So I will go look that up on Discovery Plus. I think we have Discovery Plus, if I'm not mistaken, but I'll go look that up because I'm eager to see. Thank you so much, Pretty Little Blooms. Thank you so much, and thank you for your support. But yeah, I remember that a long time ago. I tell you, things take a while. But this is what I wanted to talk to y'all about, because let me tell you, I didn't believe it, and I know stuff like this still happens, and I try to be very careful about what I say when I'm saying it, because I told you I'm still working on myself. My daughter says that I need to work. What I say is true, but I need to work on my delivery. So let me just get right into it. So I was a little bit disturbed when I read that someone really wanted to start a garden. They were excited about gardening. They didn't want to grow a lot, but they just wanted to get their hands into gardening. I think maybe like a couple of tomato plants. And their family, their friends, close people around them were really discouraging to them. I'll give you an example. I read that, what do you want to do that for? You're going to kill everything. Why do you want to start that? And I was like, I know people don't say this to people. It's no way. It's no way people can talk to people like this. But evidently it is. And so the person was very, very discouraged by this. And so that's why if you receive my text, if you receive my email, if you receive the community post or the Instagram post, I just really want to have a talk with y'all today, because I know someone needs to hear this. Some things you have to filter out, and that includes like the negativity, because I didn't understand why would someone want to tell someone, why do you want to do that, and then just like instantly say you're going to kill everything. I think words are really powerful, and I'm very selective about the things that I say, and I get on my husband about this all the time. I'm like, don't say that. Like, to me, words are powerful, but I didn't think that someone would be bold enough to say something like that to someone about like starting a garden. And my first thought is, this person can be doing way worse things. Let your imagination be your guide. But the fact that you want to grow and someone close to you told you, why do you want to do that? Everything's gonna die. Now I already know what my first response would have been. But some people, I don't know, some people are nice about stuff. I just always, like my mom always say, like, don't dish it if you can't take it, which means don't go saying ugly things to me if when I come back at you saying ugly things, you're like, you shouldn't have said that, you hurt my feelings. So that's what she means by don't dish it if you can't take it. But the fact that people are getting discouraged because someone says it's gonna die, or why do you want to do that? Like y'all know, I always tell you that gardening is a journey, okay? If I were to make a pile of all the plants that I have killed, honey, this pile would be miles and miles high. But that didn't discourage me to keep trying. And I know that people have different, how do you say it? Like I tell people I really have a tough skin. Like it takes a lot to really get to me before I just start going off, before I start going off, because you can't let people steal your joy, like someone just said on YouTube. You can't let people steal your joy. Don't let people steal your energy, and don't let people get you upset, because that means that they have the power over you, and you don't want to give away your power. That's the way I think about it. But I'm just thinking about all the stuff that I have killed in the past, but that didn't discourage me. That didn't stop me from growing. And for someone to tell another person, why do you want to do that? Everything's going to die. I just really think that's not fair. And then I'm wondering to myself, will that same person, like when you start growing and getting good on your gardening journey, will that same person come to you asking for, your expertise? Or will that person come to you asking you for fresh vegetables, fresh herbs, fresh flowers out of the garden? So that's why I'm saying that words are powerful. And just like Growing with Donnie just said, you can't let people steal your joy. If you want to go after something, exactly, if you want to go after something, try it. Because what I want to say to each of you, you don't want to go with, like I just told my husband this last night, I never want to be what ifs. I don't like what ifs. Like you want to do something, you don't, then down the line, you think about this, you start thinking and you're like, well, what if I did? Or what if, try it. Try it. Yes. I'll be very upfront. Like if you start gardening and you don't kill a thing, bravo to you. Hey, you got a gift there. But I tell people, don't get discouraged if you do kill something. Okay, I killed a plant. Sorry, it was not my intention. Journal down what happened, what you did wrong, move on, keep growing. But don't let people discourage you from something. And it doesn't have to do any, like, it's not just gardening. When I read this, I was like, there's no way someone told you this. Like someone really close to them told them, why do you want to do that for? Everything's going to die. And I'm just like, no way this person told you this. And it was like, yeah, way, they did. And I'm like, what a mean thing. Like, why would you even say, you know what? My third grade teacher, Miss Jones, said, if you don't have nothing good to say, don't say it at all. I think that's the point. Just keep your mouth shut. You don't have nothing good to say. Don't say anything to me. But what I wanted to go a little bit further and say, I know a lot of people, when they hear words like this, they're like, I'm going to prove them. Me personally, I don't have anything to prove to anybody but myself. If I'm going to prove anything, I'm going to prove it to myself, not because that's what you told me. Now, I get that may be motivation for a lot of people to be like, okay, they told me I couldn't do it. Now I'm going to prove them wrong. But I'm not here to prove you wrong. I'm here to prove to myself. So that's the type of person I am. Like, I don't owe anyone any explanation. And when I do stuff, I do it because that is what brings me joy. That is what makes me happy. And that is why I'm doing it. If I kill a plant, guess what? I killed a plant, okay? I'll go buy another one and I'll just keep practicing. That's just like when you first start riding a bike. I can't tell you how many times I fell off and skipped my knees and stuff like that. But if you're determined to do it, whatever your reason may be, like you may be determined to do it because you want a healthier lifestyle, because you want to be able to eat fresh fruits and vegetables, because you want to be able to grind your own herbs, make your own floral arrangements. It's just so much stuff going on. Me personally, I just think gardening is a great skill to have. I always tell people, start small. You don't have to garden like you're going to start a farm if you don't want to. Start small. Start with what you can handle and you grow from there. If you kill stuff, okay, that's fine. They make more seeds, they make more plants, they make more cuttings. Start over again. Document what you think may have happened. Don't do that again. And just keep journaling. When I got overseas, you just don't know how many times I would call my grandmother and just ask her stuff where she was showing us. But you know how you are when you're young and you're kids. You don't pay attention to that. I mean, I thought I was paying attention, but when stuff started dying on me, I was like, now what is she doing different? Or what am I doing wrong? But it has been like a journey over these years. And I tell y'all, I just pulled a cucumber plant the other day. Okay, wasn't looking good. It died. But is that gonna stop me? Is that gonna tell me, you know what? You keep killing this cucumber plant. You don't need to garden no more. No. And so I just want this to be like a motivation to someone who has, even if someone has told you that, or you know someone who has been told that, or you ever felt like that. Like sometimes we have these feelings like, why am I even doing this? You're doing this to learn a skill. Like, unless you're born with a gift, nobody is perfect. Like, nobody is perfect, and you have to learn stuff. Just think about, like, on your job or on things that you have mastered. It took a while for you to do it. Like, I think about the things that I do on my job. Like, it took me some years to now be able to look at certain stuff and be like, oh, okay, but I didn't go in knowing that. And that's what it's all about. But what makes it so much better for me is social media, reading materials, like, we have so much. I mean, you have to decipher out different things that you learn, but I think it's just so many more resources than like 20 years ago. Like, I would have to go to the library and check out a book because the internet wasn't really popular back then. So let me tell you, everywhere I went, okay, I got me a library card, and you would check out books. Then they started getting like DVDs and VCR tapes. So I would look at certain stuff like that. But you're building your skills and you're building yourself, but you can't, like, you have to filter out and distort all of that negativity that people will see. Because I'm going to give y'all a good example before I go to the comments. When I was gardening, like in my mid-20s, I can't tell y'all how many people, now they're not telling me that today, but how many people used to tell me they told me I was a young lady in an old person's body because I like to garden. They was like, you know what, it's like you should be in an old person's body. Or they may used to say stuff like, you must have been around somebody old, or somebody old must help raise you, and I would be like, yeah, I stayed around my grandmother all the time. But I'm serious. If I could count the times from my mid-20s up until like my mid-30s that people used to tell me I was a young person in an old person's body because only old people garden. And I was like, where did that come from? Like, I've never heard that. I've known people all ages to grow stuff. So maybe I was just like, I don't know, maybe I was just blind to the world because I didn't think that gardening was like a certain age you had to be to do it. Like, people would make you think that only people who are retired and old or something like that garden. And I'm like, that's not true. That wasn't true. Even back then, my aunt and uncle, they were younger. I mean, they're older than me, but they were, younger than my grandmother. Like, they had a nice little garden. And they used to garden, and they also go fishing too. So I'm like, I don't know where people get the perception is you have to be a certain age to garden. I try to teach, if you have kids, if you have younger kids, teach them how to garden, teach them what fresh fruit tastes like, fresh fruits, vegetables. Because I would like to take a poll, like with a group of 100 kids, and ask them, do they know like where food really comes from, how it's grown? Because kids are just so used to seeing what's in the grocery store, but I don't think they correlate how it's grown. I would really like to take that poll. So if you do have kids, start teaching them young. Now I know I tell people, and it's just so funny how I started the initiative with gardening, because I've told my story to some people. Y'all know when I started on social media, I was just showing pictures and, just, okay, this is what I'm doing in the garden. Look what I harvest. But I'm telling you, something really hit last year with everything that went on. So many people panicking. And I just said to myself, you got to do something about it. You have to tell people what you know. You have to teach people what you know, because this is like, to me, gardening is like a life skill. I cannot tell you how many people like were killing plants because of things that they were or maybe were not doing. But the good thing about everything that happened last year is we got people who love gardening and they're still doing it, and they're getting better each and every gardening season. Like, I've had some people to reach out to me. They just started it last year from what was going on, but they continued it on to now. And I mean, they are banging it out. They are banging it out, and they are just like loving it. Like, it has really became like something life-changing, something eye-opening to them. And that's what I'm just like trying to teach people. Like, just know the basics of what you need to do to get stuff to grow, just in case something happens. You need to know, like the makeup of your soil, what you need to do, the nutrients in your soil, pest control, different stuff like that. But I just really think it's mean for someone to just start out being discouraging to someone else. I just don't think that's fair. That's not fair. I'm like I told y'all, I know some new people join. I don't think they could have said that to me and got away with it. It's no way. Like, you can't say that to me and tell me, I don't know why you're doing it, everything's gonna die, and just get away with that, And it's not even about stealing my joy and my energy. It's like, you're not gonna talk to me. You're not gonna talk to me like that, first of all. Hello, from 37 on. How are you? How are you? How is the weather in Dallas, Texas? Growing with Donnie. How would you learn if nothing dies? Exactly. That's why I say it's a journey. It's a process. It's a learning experience. You have to go through it. Like, everybody has to go through it, like life. You have to go through it to know how to do better and how to grow better. That's just part of it. Like I said, there has some people, and that's why I say when people just have a natural gift of just doing stuff without any training, any research, I say that's your gift. But you have to go through different gardening trials and tribulations in order to be able to know. And then what I love about it so much is once you have experience under you, then you can start teaching other people. You can start teaching kids. Someone may have a question. You can answer that for them because you have been there. You know what to do. But don't just start off negative when someone hasn't even bought their first plant and tell them, I don't know why you're going to grow. Everything's going to, they hadn't even bought, they were thinking about, like they were actually thinking about it. And you just discouraged them. How would you feel if someone said that to you? I don't know. I got a little perturbed about that. Hello, Angela, Busy Bees Garden. How are you? How are you? So, Angela has so many beautiful harvests that she's doing. I don't know why she got out of my algorithm, but today she just popped back in. And so I got to catch up on your videos, Angela, because I don't know. Sometimes the algorithm just, some people I know who videos I used to watch, it's just like they leave, and I got the notification and I'm glad I did. Sometimes that just rings a bell. Gardening is more than just growing food. It's so much more. Yes, it is. It is so much more. That is a skill that you really need in your life. you really need gardening in your life. And like I said, even if you can have that skill, you don't even have to grow a plant. But if it comes a point to where you have to, then you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to do like how some of our gardening friends do, but just knowing that skill, I think that's all that matters. I had someone tell me that I was the first black person she ever seen gardening. I was taken back, but I had to look at the stories or the serious side. Exactly. And that's what I'm talking about from 37 on. Just like they was like, you are a young person in an old person's body. And I'm like, what is that supposed to mean? Like only old people garden or something like that? Yeah, I totally understand what you are saying about that. Like people, I don't know. Some people say some stuff. And like I tell people, it just depends on what mood I'm in for that day on the answer that you will get back. Okay. I told my supervisor early this week, I said, I'm telling you right now, I am on one. Okay. I'm on one. So some cooling off better start. Some cooling off better start taking place because I'm trying to do better though, y'all. I killed every plant when I first started. Exactly, Josie. I'm telling you, I've had to call home to my mom and my grandmother because, like I used to tell my mom, a lot of my family members, just with life in general, they made things look so easy. And I'll just give you an example. It has nothing to do with gardening, but my mom made life look so easy. Like she would go to work, she would come home and cook, she would take care of us, we had to do homework. And when you're a child, it's like, oh wow, that looks easy. Let me tell you, when I got married, got kids, had to help with homework, had to cook, had to go to work, I'm like, look, wait a minute here. Wait a minute. And I tell my mom all the time. I said, see, you should have been telling us about some of this stuff because my kids will tell you, oh, I prep them real good about life. I'm going to be upfront and honest with you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it at all. So yeah, I've had to call a lot of people to see what is going on. Let me tell y'all. This is how much. Let me just tell you. This is how much I have grown. I will never forget in Germany. Didn't know no better. I just wanted something pretty. We went to the garden center. Okay. Y'all, why I got tulips and put them on the inside of the house like they was like a house plant. And then I was wondering why all those gnats came. And I was like, oh, okay, they go outside. Is that what it is? And I'm like, okay. It's a journey. It's a life journey. I can remember buying tulips, y'all, putting them in the house. I'm not talking about, how you cut tulips and do a floral arrangement. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about growing some tulips in a pot like they were a house plant, okay? So that's what I'm saying. I know my journey. I know I've been a long way. I know I kill plants. Now, what I can tell you is I do really have a supportive family. Now, I'm not going to go as far as to say they're going to come out there and they're going to help me, weed and stuff like that. Because they'll make up excuses. So I'm not going to go that far and say that. But I have known it has been times when I don't go by the garden center for a few days and my husband and I are out riding. He will say, do you want to stop there? Or do you want to stop by there? Because he knows that's what I like. So my family is very supportive, and you will have people that are supportive. Now, I do have some family members. If y'all seen the Instagram reel where I have so many unread texts on my phone right now, and I'm not even worried about it. Now, I do have some family members that make side comments about, I saw you call, you see me call, and then they'll call either my kids or my husband, and they'll be, I bet you she out there in that garden. Yes, I am. That's exactly where I'm at. I'm not bothering anybody, and that's exactly where I'm going to stay until the mosquitoes tell me otherwise. Now, sometimes those mosquitoes can get really, I don't know what was their problem the other day, but they were just, I don't know, very disrespectful. Just really, really disrespectful. They clearly never learned anything about American history. Right, but that's it. Exactly. I'm with you, growing with Donnie. I have a tomato now that looks like death. If it doesn't work out, there are other plants. There's also always next time. Try and try again. You know how they used to say, try and try again? Keep trying. But don't let the negative comments put you down. Don't let the negative comments like discourage you, basically. Don't let them discourage you. Don't let people discourage you. If gardening is something you want to do, whether it be just to try out or it be long term, I encourage you to do it. To do it. I've tried a lot of different things and I found out it's just not for me. But like I said earlier, I don't like to live with what ifs. What if I had a did that? I wonder how different life would have been. So I am the type of person where if I've made my mind up and that's what I want to do, I will try it. If I don't like it, then okay, at least I tried it. And I know that's not for me. I have to get my family to tell y'all all this stuff. Like a lot of people don't even know that I am a licensed cosmetologist. I keep my license up and I keep my continuing education things up, but I don't practice it. And I mainly wanted to do that because I had three girls. I had three girls, three young girls. We were overseas. I actually got it back in the States though, but I'm like, at the time with us being a military family and going to the beauty shop like all the time or paying someone to do my kids' hair and my hair, that added up for a military family, you know? So guess what I did? I went to school and I got my cosmetology license. I'm like, I'm at least gonna learn. Now, what I will tell y'all is I found out that was not for me. Because when I started working in the beauty shop and people were bringing in magazines and saying that they want their hair like that and didn't even have the texture, I knew. And you can't, and they didn't understand it. Or when they looked at the different magazines and you would tell them that's not their hair, that's a wig that was cut, that's a weave. I could try to get it like that, and then I found out that was not for me. But it's a skill that I learned, and hey, if I need to revert back to it, or if something happens and I need a job, I know that I got my license and I can go back to a beauty shop or start my own business doing hair because I have those skills. But I learned, I'm telling y'all, that's another live right there. Because I was like, if somebody bring one more magazine in here and show me this is what they want. And yeah. And then I was standing up on my feet all day. I was standing up on my feet all day. And I was like, no. But I don't have any what ifs about it, you know. And my kids' hair stayed done when they were little up until I still braid my kids' hair now when I feel like it. You know, I did teach them like the basic skills, but I don't know. Sometimes when I braid now, my fingers hurt. But yeah, it's just, I don't have any what ifs about it. I'm just going to go through the comments real quick. That's why I love proving them wrong. My garden is their oops mom. I'm telling you now, I'm not here to prove anything, but you will have people that once you let them taste it, then they'll just be like, you got some more cucumbers? Or they'll tell somebody, yeah, she grow cucumbers or something like that. You know, like I've let a lot of people try a lot of things from the garden. I'm not saying that they were discouraging, but I do have people, like I'll use an example. I had someone to say, I want some of those banana peppers when they are ripe, because I gave them like a bag of banana peppers, you know, a few years ago. So every year I will grow some because I know that is what they're looking for. So yeah, you will have them like that too. I'm telling you, but just don't let negative comments and just discouragement, don't let that get in the way of you wanting to start a garden. Don't let that get in the way. Nice nails, grow those. Hey, so nice nails, grow those diamonds. Let me tell y'all about my nails. A lot of people always ask me about my nails and I tell them it's strictly DNA. I'm so rough on my nails. Y'all, I am so rough on them. Like, I do nothing to them. My mom has long nails. It used to be to where they curl. One hand grows a different length, but I'm thankful that I've never had to, you know, worry about nails and things like that, but I don't do anything to them. I live in a place where community garden is big, as well as their community garden is awesome. And that's something I really would want to do. I don't know. No, they don't do it here, but I think that is something, not only will it bring the community together, but just the fact of you having like fresh local food, flower, herbs, I think is amazing. So any place that has a community garden, that is very nice. That's really nice, and I would really love to do that. I keep saying I would love to do that, but now I need to take the next step, and I need to look into the community garden. I really do, because that's really nice when you can have a community garden. That really brings community together. You know what's funny? A while back, I read that people were getting arrested for planting a garden in the front yard. Let me tell you, from 37 on, let me tell you this. There's some neighborhoods, even here, like it depends on your HOA, where they will not allow you to grow food in your garden. I think that's crazy. And there are ways now, they call it foodscaping, where you can make it like, you know how you intermix plants and vegetables, but they say no food, you know? Like, say for instance, you wanted to grow, we'll just say like Swiss chard in the mix of the front yard, and you can't. I don't know about the backyard, but I know it's some places where the front yard, you cannot grow food. And I'm thinking, if my husband would let me, now I gotta sell him on that one. But if I could turn my whole front yard, okay, into like food, flowers, vegetables, yeah, I would. I would, because yeah, with all that rain in the grass, because I had to tell my husband, I was like, and I know he's been trying to get home to do it, but it's been raining so much, and then it's been so hot, but he finally did get the grass cut. But I'm telling you, it's some HOAs where they will not let you grow food in your front yard. Now, I'm not sure about the back, but I know that you cannot do it, and I don't want to stay in a place like that. I don't. I really don't. Y'all know what my ultimate goal is, anyway, as far as that. There is a farming male and there's a gardening female. At least that's what I thought when I was younger. Yeah, I'm telling you, people come up with some stuff. Okay, so farming was for males and gardening was for females, right? But you got a lot of female farmers right now that are really doing it, and I mean doing it well. They are doing it well. I'm gonna be on that list next, y'all. I'm telling you. The weather here is tolerable. Heat, not that bad. Okay, we're in the 90s. Y'all know heat index. Heat index is what gets us. Heat index and humidity is what gets us. My tomato plants this year also. Basil was rough this year. Right. And I've had to pull maybe like 3 tomato plants. I'm looking at my green bean plant. Beautiful foliage. No green beans yet. And someone just emailed me about their peas and said they had foliage, no peas yet. That always tell me it's a lot of nitrogen tied up in the soil. Nitrogen gives you some beautiful foliage, but honey, we want some green beans, okay? That's what we want. Hello, Jewel, how are you? Yes, Josie B, you are so right. Let me read her comment. And Instagram, I'm coming. I'm going to read your comments in just a second. Gardening does teach you patience. Gardening has taught me so much patience, because I am very impatient. I'm very impatient. I am one of those people that I started out like very impatient, and I know I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be. But gardening has taught me patience. It has taught me a lot of patience. Now, I'm telling you what I'm not patient with right now. This tomato, this heirloom tomato, it's gotten so big. And I'm like, if you don't start changing colors and get ripe already, okay? Because I just want to slice you up. That's what I want to do. I just want to slice you up. But gardening teaches a lot of patience. So if you are like me, get anxious, get riled up a lot, go out there to the garden. Go start your garden. Start your garden. I bet you it'll teach you some patience. I bet you it will. And so what if I'm in the garden? It is my house. It is my garden. People have a lot of nerve. Right, growing with Donnie. Let me tell you. I could be out doing a whole bunch of different things, okay? So if I'm just outside in my garden, that's a good thing. So if I'm out there, I'm just out there. But I've never, like, me and my dad are just alike. I've never been like a big phone talker at all. Um, I don't know. I'm just always busy doing something. My grandmother used to tell me if I sit down for 5 minutes, I would be asleep, which is true. That's very true. But I'm just always busy doing something. And I'm not shaming anybody, but I have went into the store a lot of times at like 6:30, 7 o'clock, y'all. People on the phone. And I say to myself, who are they talking to this early in the morning? Like, I don't get it. Like, if I wasn't on this live now, my phone would probably be in the bottom of my purse, and then I'll check it maybe tomorrow morning, or I might get a notification or something, and I'll say, okay, let me check it and see. But I'm not a big phone talker at all. I'm so thankful for like the headphones and the AirPods, because a lot of times now, if you do see me talking, I'm talking and I'm working. Like, I can put my AirPods on, but I could still work. So I just love that. And growing with Donnie, somebody told me, just don't worry about it. Put the phone on like emergency only or something like that. And then, and Sherry just said she don't check text. No, I don't. I got to do. And I do have to do better. Like, if I were to show y'all a screenshot of my phone right now, I think I got like 42 texts. My husband did it's something he was reading on Google about the type of people in the world. And so he's the type that every day he has to clear out all his texts, go through all his emails, all of this stuff. I'm the type of person, if I don't get to it, then I'll get to it, but I leave it. I guess he just has to have like closure or something like that. But I got about 42 unread texts, and I'm going to do better on that, because I'm all types of fired up. I need to cool it now. Yeah. Hello, Julia. Gardener is hard. Moth almost ate up all my tomatoes. Parsley. Green pepper is happened in one night. Something is eating up my plants. Julia, you are in luck. This weekend, when they say keep your head down and don't come up, that is what I will be doing. So for all of you who just joined us, we have a pest control kind of like a guide that we're coming out with, because it's a free pest control guide, free download. I just have to get everything done and upload it like on the email service provider. But I felt like I needed to do this because this is one of the most asked questions about pests, what to do with it. It's one of the most asked questions, and there are a few simple things that we do to kind of eliminate them. But I know a lot of us, we see these little white moths, we see these little brown moths. That is your culprit most of the time, because they're laying their eggs. But y'all just hold on. That's why I say make sure you text Let's Grow to 474747, and then get on our email list, because as soon as we go live with it, you'll be notified, because it's a lot of pest pressure that's happening. And that's another thing. I don't want people to get discouraged because of that. A lot of people after the first season, and I'm telling y'all this from experience, from people who have notified me, a lot of people from experience, if they have a lot of pest pressure, they think it's something that they've done to the plant. That's not necessarily so. A lot of people, and this is why I say don't let people discourage you. Don't let people take your energy and your power, because a lot of times I've known a lot of people, when they've killed a plant, they think it was something that they did. They immediately say, I don't have a green thumb, and they give it up. You can't do that. You cannot, like I tell people, you cannot do that. I am here to coach you along. I'm like your gardening coach. You cannot put that on you. You can't put that on you and say, I killed a plant, it's something I did, or all of these pests eating up my plant, it's something. No, it's nature. This is nature. But as long as you learn those fundamentals and foundations on what to do, then let me tell you, I just disposed of one of the worms. You know, a lot of them can be hot. A lot of them can be in your soil. You know how people say they overwinter and then when the time is right, they come. And he thought he was smart. And he was on one of the plants but had leaped over to my tomato plants. And I did. Just this morning, I said, oh, you thought you was going to start on this plant. No, you're not, sir. No, you're not. So I immediately removed and disposed him off of my plant. But now when you see a lot of those white and those brown moths flying, they're trying to do the most, but you can't get discouraged and you can't let them take over. They will try. Now, let me tell y'all about parsley. Parsley, and Julia, I want you to type this in the comments if you're still here. Parsley attracts a lot of the yellowtail, people might think of them worms like the yellowtail butterflies. So a lot of times I will plant either parsley or dill. They're really pretty to me, but they will eat your parsley and dill. So a lot of times I'll plant a little extra patch so that they can go ahead and, get on those. So if you like parsley, if you like dill, the yellowtail butterfly like them too. So you may want to plant them a little bit extra, just plant a little extra. Also the swallowtail butterfly, for all of us that grow citrus, they love a lot of the citrus plants and they will, just surround them. So just a lot of times I do plant things. You can also plant what's called trap crops. Trap crops is basically something that's not in season. So I'll give you an example. Collards are not in season. So I may plant collards or kale because I know that the worms are going to eat them. So it's kind of like a deterrent or distractive. It kind of distracts them. So let them go ahead, do that, because we already know it's not the season for them, so that they can stay away from like your crops that you're growing now, like your cucumbers or your tomatoes or your basil, stuff like that. But we'll go more into that later. I'm telling y'all, I got some good stuff coming up for y'all. So just make sure you signed up. Make sure you signed up. I got some good stuff coming down, but definitely pest control is on the list because I don't want you to get discouraged. I need to grow some bud. Can't go to the dispensary every week. I really wish I could grow that here. Not for me, but I just want to grow it, Pierce. I just want to grow it. People who discourage are usually miserable, and we know that misery loves company, and their nickname is Sorrow from 37 on. Yes. And that's why I say you can't let people steal your joy. And when you get upset, then you are telling them they still have control over you. I will tell people in a minute. Now, what you're not going to do is you're not going to run my blood pressure up. That's what you're not going to do. So I just let it roll right on off my back. No. And you're right. I think deep down, maybe they want to do it too, but maybe they just, I don't know, haven't built themselves up yet. But don't let them discourage you from growing what you're going to grow. If you want to get a 5-gallon bucket and grow you some tomatoes in there, then that's what you do. And don't let anybody tell you you can't do it. I tell my kids this all the time. Don't ever let anyone tell you what you can and can't do. Anybody on here can do whatever you want to if you put your mind to it. You want to grow, then get the necessary things that you need to grow and grow. That's all you have to do. But don't let other people tell you what you can't do. If your soil does not have enough nutrients, your plant will not be strong enough to fight off anything that attacks it. So thank you, Josie. That's what we talk about in pest control, the pest control guide. Because what I'll tell y'all is a lot of times pests can be telling you a message. Pests can send you a message about your soil, about the plants. So they can send you a message too. So don't get so discouraged about the pest, because it may be a message to us. Just like the guy emailed me and said with his black-eyed peas that beautiful foliage, no black-eyed peas. Your plant is telling you a message, and the message is it's a lot of nitrogen in your soil. Y'all know I always encourage once a year. So probably next month, I'm going to be taking soil samples, sending them off to UGA before I put my fall crops in the ground so that they can let me know what, if I'm lacking anything, if I need to add anything, what do I need to do. And I let them know I'm growing leafy greens, I'm growing carrots, I'm going to put my onions in, but I let them know all of that. That way they can tell me my soil composition, and then they can tell me if anything's lacking, and they can get me on the right track. But yes, the pest can sometimes tell you different things. Now I don't welcome the pests. They really aggravate me, okay? But they also can be a way to tell us about our plants or about our souls. I keep my toenails long enough for better traction to escape predators. Hello, UT 33200. How are you? Teresa, I love to meet up with other gardeners in my community. Me too. It's such good energy, such good conversation, such good vibes. When you talk to gardeners, I'm telling you, some of the people that I've had conversations with in the garden center, maybe a couple, I told them to just follow me home. I got to show them something. But I wish I could invite so many people over just to see. It's just good vibes to meet other people that are growing too, and then you can share ideas as well. Hello everyone. Okay, I'm still impatient. I've been looking at 3 Roma tomatoes like I need more of you for my sauce. Okay, let me tell you, growing with husband, I picked 2 tomatoes today, but that's this heirloom one. I'm like, if you don't come on and start turning, just start turning. But I'm gonna have to go and take a picture. It's big. It's getting really big, and I see more coming. But they do that. See, the plants do that because they know you keep watching them, and that's why they're doing it. And they need to stop it and come on. Yeah, growing with us. I don't even want to tell you how many emails I got on Yahoo. We won't even talk about that. Yes, Devin, trap crops, those are good. If you see something that looks like bird poop on your citrus plant leaves, look closer because it's probably is bird poop, caterpillar worms. Yep, it will eat your citrus plant down and up. Yep. On these videos, y'all, I got something coming for y'all because I did like a live. I think I showed it. I just learned how to start doing shorts, y'all, YouTube shorts. So I'm gonna start doing more YouTube shorts because normally I do the Instagram stories, but it's a lot of times where I've went out there and showed people what was doing it. Like the cat, anytime I see the poop, I'm about to start. I'm about to start digging around and looking because I know it's somewhere near, and a lot of them like to come out at night. I even have deers coming in my yard. Oh no, in the middle of the night. I just can't win. They also eat my plant. Deer spray is expensive. Yes, it is. And see, the deers know. I'm telling y'all, the deers are smart. They know good food when they see them. Now, I am so sorry that you do have a deer problem. A lot of people have asked me about that, and I I don't. It's a few plants that they say are deer resistant. But you know the deer can jump pretty high. I will say that because we had a deer one time in this backyard, and I know our fence is like 6 feet. And then I felt sorry. I really felt sorry for the deer because I came out and it was like a baby deer, and he was trying to get out, and I guess he didn't move back far enough, and I guess he didn't move back far enough to get his momentum to jump the fence. So I know he probably broke his leg, but he eventually got over it. Um, but that is hard. It really is hard because you do have to have something that's tall enough because the deers can jump really, really high. They can jump really high. And it's a few plants that I've read about that they don't like, but I know you want to grow vegetables. I know they don't like daffodils. So I have even suggested to a lady, like, I wonder, could you plant like a border, just a border of plants that they don't like? I wondered, would that discourage them, or would they just like leap over into your garden? Because yeah, the fence would definitely have to be high enough. Someone liked my garden. They asked me for help. I created a garden bed and they never watered the plants. All the plants I planted died. I was big mad. Yeah. And you know what? Desi loves GT. I don't, when I talk to people, like, I don't want to talk to people like I don't want to assume people should know, but I also put it out there so that you do know. So I'll give you an example. Like someone with a, like, say for instance, they have a small pot and they have a plant, and like I'll just say, like, you're going to have to water this more often than normal, because some people just don't know. But I don't want to talk to the, like, I just don't like to assume. I don't like to make an assumption. So whenever I talk to somebody about plants, I try to tell them, okay, you're going to have to do this. Like my daughter with her plant, I said, you're going to have to water it more than like once a month, don't you? Now, but I can talk to her. I can talk to her like that. But I just tell people, you're going to have to do that. And I know that you were proud of your work. And then when all the plants died, so maybe she will, or he or she, maybe they know now. And see, that's a gardening journey. So maybe they know now, okay, I've got to keep this watered. I'm going to have to keep this water. That would make me, oh God, I'll be like, oh, plants, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Yeah, that I understand Desi loves, but I guess we have to encourage them, and we just have to let them know. We do. We have to let them know. Hello, Sherry. Hello from Vegas. Yeah, Pretty Little Bloom, where she was saying about growing food even in the backyard. Yeah, now in the backyard, like our HOA is not really strenuous like that. I think the only thing that they don't like is like if your grass is a certain height. And let me tell y'all, I had my first encounter with the snake Wednesday. I was sitting in the living room and I was looking out of the front window. Now, let's go back a couple of days. So I think I told y'all a couple of days that I came home and I was going through the front door and I was like, that looked like a snake. And he curled up, very smart, curled up in my plants. So I don't know what I was thinking. I just sprayed some water on him. I was like, I got my water hose and sprayed some water. And so I told my husband, he's like, which way did he go? I said, Chris, I don't know. I said, he's not in there anymore. And I was about to go, it was my intention. I didn't do it, but it was my intention to go next door. And I wanted to tell, the neighbors next door, tell your kids to be careful when they take out the trash because we had a snake in our yard. But Wednesday, I was just sitting looking out of the front window, and I was on like I was on the phone with my supervisor. As a matter of fact, I was on the phone with my supervisor, and I was sitting there, and I just like looked. I said, now I don't know if it was the same snake or not. I said, I gotta go. As a matter of fact, this is what I told him. I said, I'll call you back. I gotta go. I said, I got a snake in my front flower bed, and I did what I needed to do. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say is I did what I needed to do. But that is what goes back to the Pretty Little Blooms. That's why I was saying, like, our HOA here, like if your grass gets a certain height, or like if you have a car that isn't working on the side, like they'll come and tell you, you got to cut the grass or something like that. Now they don't really tell us, because it's like everybody's yard is different. They don't really tell us what we can and can't plant. But I will say, no one has like a vegetable garden in the front yard. So I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, it is some HOAs that they don't allow you to do that. But yeah, leafy greens and herbs are easy to disguise, because as a matter of fact, we have like tricolored sage in the front yard as well. Sherry, I added okra and squash, and I already want to see something. Not only the tomato, we are growing thanks to UT 33200 with the seed swap. And I took a few of the red okra from Ession's family garden, and I see them coming. I see them, and I'm like, do y'all hear me tapping on my table? I'm like, okay, come on now. We need some okra because I just want to wow people with red okra. Okay, we got green okra growing too, but I just want to wow them with red okra as well. How do you get rid of moths? I have a ton eating up my garden. Plant parents. There are a couple of things that you could do. What I will tell you is when I first put out small transplants, I will cover my raised bed or native soil, wherever I'm at. I will put garden net. I will put the insect netting on them. Now, if they're in the soil and then they hatch, a lot of times I will use I use BT for a lot of things when it comes to worms, but they're out. I will tell you, they are out. We have a lot of white moths. A lot of people think they're really pretty. I know they're laying eggs. I know they're laying their eggs. Yes. If you haven't had any pest problems, Sherry, yes, knock on wood. That is amazing. That's amazing. Uh, yeah, Sherry, she's one of my friends, and I know she sent me a picture of the tomato. I did. I told her. I told y'all. I tell people, I am working on my delivery, but Sherry knows me. When she sent me a picture, I did. I said, "Girl, you need to repot that. You're gonna have to put it in a bigger pot if you want some tomatoes." And she did. And I hope you're getting tomatoes. But yeah, so Sherry knows how I am. I'll just tell you. And see, that goes back to Desi Loves GT. Like if I do a garden for somebody and plant it, I'll be like, you gotta water it. You gotta stick your finger down there, see how wet it's getting. Like if you don't want to do the irrigation, I'll tell you, you need to get this water hose and you need to water this plant. That's how I talk to people. It's not to be mean, but it's just to let you know, because I know you want this garden to be pretty. I've just did all of this work to start you off. So this is what you got to do. I'll tell them, you got to, depending on what it is, get you this fertilizer and get yourself a schedule. Put it on your phone. That's how I am. I'm very direct. I don't like to sugarcoat stuff a lot. So yeah, I will. I'll tell you. She knows. I told her, like, you need to repot that. Let's see here. We are going to go through, and then I am going to, y'all, I didn't even put my carrots on the roast. I'm supposed to be roasting carrots, but I knew I had to talk about this, honey, because we can't have negative people saying negative things to us about our garden and what we going to kill and what we ain't going to grow. Has a great job in Black has done a great job in Africa recently. I use Repel All. Okay, so for Julia says she used Repel All. I was using that by the fence, Julia, for the raccoons. It does work. Like they come in, but what I will say is, and they're for deer too. They're for all type. They have like all of the animals that is good for on the package. But what you have to make sure is when it rains, like after so much rain, you're probably going to have to reapply it. That's the one thing I tell people is for like the granules. If you get the granules, we had the granules, and y'all know what that raccoon was doing. I was showing y'all pictures. Then we had an armadillo come in here and start digging and by the fence, because like it's only so many bricks I could put up, and if I put up a brick, they kept going up under the fence. But we use that. But when it's a lot of rain, you definitely have to go ahead and like reapply it again. But it does. I did see that it works. Thank you so much, S. Hartwell. Glad you are joining us. Do you like red dwarf? Red dwarf. What is that? Is that like for the okra, or what is that? Yes, growing with Donnie. Me and these snakes. I don't welcome them. I do not like snakes at all. At all. I'm just I don't know. Like I'll leave them alone, but they make my skin crawl when I see them. I told y'all, this is the only place we've been where we just see them like all the time here. All the time. I guess that's what you get in low country, and it's a lake in the next subdivision by us. I don't know where they come from. And then it's a easement in the back of our property. So every time the city comes in and cut, it's like they rattle up something. Every time they cut that portion, it's like they rattle up, and then that's when I start to see them. Because that's what I told my husband. I said about 2 weeks ago they came to cut that little easement back there. And I don't want to tell them not to cut it because you don't want to get grass high. And I don't want to tell them, yeah, I want them to keep it cut. But it's like every single time they do that. Yeah, I didn't want to get, I was scared. I was. But I was like, and what really made me upset, y'all, with the snake is the fact that he was in my flower bed. The flower bed that I need to weed. So I don't, one thing I will say is when I go out to pull weeds or garden, like I always take the garden hoe and just like, and that's a tip for y'all too, just like move it around where you're about to go at, because I don't just stick my hand down and stuff, especially if I don't have clear eyesight of what's going on, because I was mad because I'm like, this is where I need to weed. And then he hanging out in my plants, like hiding, like he curled up, like hiding, like I can't see you. Now imagine not only me, but imagine if a child or somebody like goes to stick their hand in there, or a ball goes over there. That's what I think about. Like I just, yeah, I don't like them. I don't like them. Not at you know what I use growing with husband Hudson. Yeah, I use the tool that yeah. It just was like, not today. And that was the day, y'all, that I was on one. I told you I was on one with work, and I had told my supervisor I'd call you back. It was just, I don't know. I think I had just got, I did. That's what happened. That's why I had all that encouragement. I had gotten, and I can tell y'all because, we are all family and I can talk to y'all, and then I'm going to get off. I had got this email that really rubbed me the wrong way. And I always pick my battles with people. You know how you say you got to pick your battles. Like sometimes I just won't say nothing, but if I think something needs to be said for the betterment of anything, I will. And that's what I did. And I don't like long emails, but I had to get my point across, and so I wrote a long email because I'm just all about fairness. And I just got a little upset that morning, and I just was like, y'all ain't finna try me today. And so that's what ended up happening. And then when I saw that snake, I was like, I'll call you back. I'll call you back because I need to take care. I need to take care of something. So that is how that went. So Dante says, one of the reasons I'll never deal with HO again, you're not going to tell me what I can do with my property. Dante, I feel like that too. Like I'm already paying mortgage, and then so now you're telling me, because I'm telling you, 2 neighborhoods, and Sherry probably knows the place in Richmond Hill, 2 neighborhoods that we looked at houses in. I don't even think you could have like a garden or anything. But if you wanted, it didn't have a fence. If you wanted a fence, it could only be black or white. It had to be a certain type of material, and it could not be over 3 feet. So that was one stipulation. And then it was another neighborhood that we went in, and it was like certain things that you couldn't have. And I am like that too. Like I feel like if I'm paying, I can only have, a certain type of fence. And I just, like I said, I know this one has one, but they're not as strict as other ones. Like my sister stays in Virginia, and they wanted to get a shed, for the lawnmower in their backyard. So they have to go to their HOA. It has to be a certain color. It can only be so big. And I was like, okay. And you still paying them more? Okay. Yeah. So certain ones, I know an HOA president may be on here and they may have a whole bunch of stipulations as to why they do it, but I just feel like that's going a little bit too far. If I have to ask you, can I purchase a shed for me to put my lawnmower in? Then it can only be a certain color and it can only be a certain size. They got, you know how in the driveway you get like an extra piece of cement laid for like extra cars. So they had to go through the HOA to get that extension on. And I'm like, okay, no, y'all go ahead and stay there, because that's just too much now. Now, if you're paying my mortgage, then yeah, you can tell me, you can tell me what shed I can get or cement. But if you're not, and I'm still making the payments, I'm starting to have just a little bit of problem with that. Is there any way to save a powdery fungi plant in the ground, or should you just pull it? Kim, how far along is the powdery mildew? Powdery mildew, I normally do half milk, half water, and I spray it on there. It depends on how much it has affected the plants, because if it's just started, a lot of times I'll just get rid of those particular leaves from the plant. You never want to like get rid of more than like 30%, but I've had powdery mildew, for example, on my cucumbers before. And so what I'll do, if it's just starting, I'll just remove those leaves, but then I'll do a spraying with half milk, half water. Someone also said they put a little baking soda in there too. Now, I haven't tried that, but I have done that before. Like if it's not like totally out of control, I'll remove some of those leaves, give it a real good spraying, and then just keep my eye on it to make sure that it's like going away. So I hope that one helped a little bit. I use garden. Yep, me too, Josie. I use garden tone for my vegetables, but I noticed that ants are tunneling down and removing. No, they not. No, they not. She said the ants are tunneling down and removing the fertilizer granules, granule by granule. Oh, though, okay. Now the ants are going too far, okay? They are going too far. And let me tell y'all, diatomaceous earth I've used with ants. They kind of laugh at it a little bit. Grits do not work. I have a couple of ant mounds out there now. They haven't really done a lot of damage. Like I kind of like dislodge them every now and then, but yeah, they can be irritating in the garden. They can. I went and buy a house. Okay, I was not dealing with that. Yep. Look into the reach extender tool to grab a snake at a safe distance, and you can discard. I will from 37 on. I'm just really hoping we don't keep encountering them. I don't know if I tried to grab my problem. Let me tell you, I'm the type of person, if I tried to grab them, I'm subject to drop. I'm like one of those, you know how you do something and you just startle? Like I can see me grabbing them and then just throwing everything down. I can just see me. I'm telling you, I can see it. I've done that before. It's some stuff I just dropped and left. And just left. I gotta do better. Oh gosh. But I'm telling y'all, if y'all, I have gotten better. I'm not gonna say I gotta do better. I have gotten better, because if you were to know me, we've been here almost 11 years next month. If you were to have known me 11 years when it came, because I've never, ever had an encounter with a snake before. So I've come a long way. I've come a long way. I'm doing better. I'm getting better and better with a lot of the different pests. I just got to tame these mosquitoes. I got to go outside in a few minutes, as a matter of fact. And like I said, they eat through your clothes. So I don't know what type of mosquitoes it is. here. But yeah, those are, I'm with you, Tanya. Those ants and from 37 on, I'm said they are removing it. Let me tell you, I saw a bug in the grass today, like some type of wasp or something. It was like pulling something. I don't know if it was a spider or what. I said, oh, I didn't know they can pull like that. So I don't know. I don't know. Okay. So y'all, I am about to go roast my carrots. I just wanted to, that's why I titled this. Somebody needs to hear it, or somebody might need this motivation, or you may know somebody. So what I have to say to anyone who is looking to garden and someone has discouraged you, you got to move past that. You got to move on, honey. Start your garden, okay? And when I say a garden, I've told y'all, a garden to me, if you have one pot with one herb or one tomato, that is a garden, okay? Start your garden, get good at what you're growing. If you kill something, hey, okay, let me write down what I think I did. They make more tomato seeds, they make more tomato plants. Keep growing, because what y'all don't realize is you will also be an encouragement to someone else who wants to start. You don't know what effect you may have on a person. Like if they come to your house or if you give them some tomatoes, you are encouraging someone else to do what you're doing, to start. So don't let people tell you that stuff is going to die. Don't let people tell you what you can't do, and do it, okay? And that's why I say not only let's grow, but let's grow together. And we're here as a community because we have a beautiful community. We're here as a community to help each other out. If y'all don't see in the comments, if I don't know it, look how many people have put in the comments what they do. That's what it's all about. We're helping each other out. So don't get discouraged. Get motivated. Get motivated to grow. And so if y'all have any questions, reach out to me. I get a lot of emails every day with different questions. If I don't know it, I'll do some research and I'll look it up and I'll try to find it, and try to point you in the right direction. So just stay encouraged, stay gardening, and don't let anyone steal your joy or take your energy away from you. Don't give them that power, because when you start getting upset and you let it get to you, you're giving somebody else the power. They have power over you, so don't do that. So with that said, y'all stay safe. Be on the lookout. Text Let's Grow to 474747. Get on the email list, because we have a freebie coming out on pest control that I want to share with y'all. So be safe and make sure that you drink lots of water if you're in the garden. Stay hydrated, protect yourself, and most of all, have fun. So if everything goes well, Monday, noon Eastern Standard Time, we'll be live. And y'all be safe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, y'all. I know, I'm about to go roast my potatoes. My carrots. I got to go peel them. I'm peeling them and roasting them now. Y'all be safe.